So I've got a problem. Welcome back to Writer's Theory. I'm James Winterthorn, and this is day 37 of my novel writing project. I have an issue now that I talked about 2 days ago where I didn't have a writing session, and I don't have one today again. I think this is the third full day where I didn't do any writing, and I had one day where I barely did any writing at all. And I'm realizing that this is happening at the beginning of chapters when I don't have a lot of the content ready. I haven't been thinking about what I want to write because I have to start over in a new chapter. So I'm struggling getting words down. Um, and so I need to figure out what that problem is and solve it if I'm going to make my goal of writing this book in less than 90 days. So let's say I've used up 4 days. That gives me a buffer with 6 more if I'm to achieve 80,000 words in less than 90. And my story might just be longer than 80,000 words. I don't know yet. But let's say I've used up 4 days. I have 6 remaining. And so how am I going to solve this problem before I dig all the way into the buffer and haven't solved the problem, haven't written the book? So what's going on here, basically? The When I look back at this chapter and like what's going on as I'm writing here, the truth is I'm getting bored. I am looking at the story and I'm not excited when it comes to what's going to happen next. And again, if I'm not excited, you're probably not going to want to read it. So I need to analyze what's going on here and address some problems here so I can be excited writing. And if I'm excited to tell the story, it's going to be more engaging and be more of a story worth telling. So let me tell you what I decided was the issue here. I addressed beginning the chapters in previous videos, and that's still the case here. But what's really happening is I have this issue of not wanting to put my characters in too much harm, or at least have that be too much of the potential, which is kind of funny because if you read Chords of Fate, you know my main character gets beat up pretty good. But there's certain things I just don't want to risk. And I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not willing to risk the well-being of these characters that I'm telling their story for. And that's kind of nice, I guess, that I don't want harm to come to them. But it also means that I'm not risking enough in the story. So I need to up the stakes for what's at risk for my main characters. And I need to increase the action. I need to drive the narrative forward more because I think a lot of what's happening right now is a lot of transitioning from one place to the next with some character interactions going on. There's a lot of character development, but I need to up the ante, both in terms of what's at stake and just how much action there is, just how much story am I really telling? And that's a decision I've come to. And so I have adjusted my outline a little bit. I'm going to introduce a new group of characters to up the stakes. And you'll see this in tomorrow's writing session. I'll get really into this. But I introduced John Triton early in the story. And very early on, I had an idea of what I wanted his character to do. I think I knew what function I wanted him to serve. And that function doesn't help if he's a real bad guy. And so I need just a nasty bad guy and one that's going to put everything at risk. One that if he gets what he wants, like, well, game over. So I'm introducing a new villain into the story that is going to complicate things, that's going to challenge Mercer in ways that he's not ready for. And I'm going to risk more with my characters. So that's what my aim is going forward. I'm going to try to minimize these days where I'm not doing any writing and get ahead of the project. And I think I'm going to try to write a little more every day. So I have my 1,000-word goal, and I think I'm going to push that up to 1,100, 1,200 to offset some of this ground that I've lost with these 4 days of not writing. So the theme of this video really is, in my writing, I need to risk more. And so if you're writing a story and you find that you're getting bored with the content or you don't know what to write next, up the ante. So what's being risked by your characters? What happens if they don't achieve the thing that they are trying to achieve? What happens if they do? What are the consequences of their actions? And if the answer to that is not very much, like not a lot changes, not a lot happens, reevaluate what is going on in your plot and with your characters and up the stakes. We see this often in movies where a story gets serious when a character is killed. That's the point at which it's like, oh, death is on the line. Like that is, there's no greater stakes than that, right? Or the family is at risk or something along those lines. So there needs to be more at stake. And so that's my goal now. Let's see how well I achieve it. And when I come back to writing tomorrow. So not a lot to share today. And thank you for joining me here and listening to me tell you why I didn't write for a day. If you want to see how this project goes and whether I make this goal of 90, whether I make this goal of writing a story in 90 days, please like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.